Do you want to talk about Charles Martinet is no longer Mario? It was a JPEG on Twitter. I'll read it for you.
Yeah, please.
Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario in Nintendo games for a long time, as far back as Mario 64, which is not true. It's actually longer than that.
Right. It was Mario teaches typing.
Yeah, and even longer than that, he was like in trade shows in like '92 doing.
Really?
Voice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he was doing that same stupid voice that he's been doing?
Yeah, he's been doing the same stupid voice. And yeah, because he did trade shows where they like hooked up like a camera to his face, but he would be behind like a curtain.
Oh, wow.
And then the video screen would have like this like the 3D models of that era, kind of were like weird lawnmower man type things, but it'd be like a weird lawnmower man Mario. And when he would talk, like the lawnmower man Mario would talk.
The Super NES Super Score.
He would do Mario voices. And actually, the Luigi voice came about because people would ask Mario where Luigi is, and he'd be like, "Oh, he's off in the corner," and he would do the voice because it was a voice he could do without moving his lips. And so like Mario, so he wouldn't be able, he wouldn't be able to move his lips with the Luigi voice. He's like, "Oh, he's in the corner. Can you hear him?" He's like, "Mario, I'm over here."
I love in Luigi's Mansion 3 when you press the D-pad, he'll just like he'll go like Mario.
Yes, he's a talented guy. All right, so Charles is now moving into a brand new role of Mario ambassador. With his transition, he will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he'll continue to travel the world sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. It has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life for so many years, and we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message with Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post in a future date, which as of this recording, they have not posted. But and he's 67 years old. He's retirement age.
Enough's already. And I mean, when I read it, the first thing that came to mind was like, I mean, they must have recorded every possible iteration of, okay. They have all that art, like how you don't need him to come in the booth every time, surely. And then when you add the AI element to it, all you need is somebody who can already kind of impersonate that voice. And then you just layer the AI on it and you've got him forever. Like Darth Vader, you can bottle him up forever.
Yeah. But I think they did hire somebody else for Mario Wonder. So Mario Wonder will have the new voice, which Arlo called it. He saw the trailer and he's like, "That's not the real Mario."
I have a theory. I have a crazy theory. I don't think that's Shigeru Miyamoto's voice. Call me a conspiracy theorist.
At the end of the trailer, Mario says, "Wowie zowie," after collecting an elephant-shaped apple and transforming into an elephant.
Wowie zowie!
Do you hear that?
Wowie zowie!
That, to me, does not sound like Charles Martinet. We have this clip as well.
Wonderful!
Is Charles Martinet not voicing Mario in this game?
But that smelly puppet was right.
That filthy fucking puppet knew.
Filthy. I wonder how that puppet smells. Probably not great. But
like Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment.
But he was right. He was right on the money, that filthy puppet. And and because I guess like somebody heard "yowie zowie" and they're like, "That's not quite Charles Martinet."
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, if you wanted some brand consistency, it's the world of AI. I mean, it makes it infinitely possible to do that if they're interested. But
nobody knows who the new voice actor is as of yet. But it is an end of an era, and it's interesting what he brought to the role, because obviously I think both of us grew up on the Brooklyn version from the Super Show and Mario 3 cartoon. And so I remember hearing, actually the first time I heard his voice acting was Mario Teaches Typing. I remember my cousins had a Apple computer, which was weird. Like
Yeah.
that was like a weird thing to have an Apple computer when everyone had like
Windows.
DOS computers.
Yeah, right.
And so, and they had a copy of Mario Teaches Typing. I remember Mario Teaches Typing.
Oh, hello! It's me, Mario, and I want to thank you for choosing Mario Teaches Typing.
That was one of those games where, at least the version I played, where it used the PC speaker and not audio speakers to play the music. So like sound came out of the CPU itself. It was like.
But yeah, then of course Mario 64 came out, and yeah, it was well, the game was just phenomenally groundbreaking. So you were taking that in, but he brings such an exuberance to that freaking character.
I couldn't have understood their decision at the time. I mean, in the fullness of time, going with a voice like that made a lot of sense for kind of the video game version of it, the kind of the Mickey Mouse, the kind of the proxy for the player version of it, the silent film kind of, almost thing of it. But I remember being like, well, that's really fucking stupid. Like we have a totally established voice for this character. He's obviously an American Italian, not like a native Italian. That's strange. Why are we like doing a total caricature of an ethnicity? Like, why are we, and I remember, of course I loved Mario 64, so I didn't really give a shit. But I remember thinking, like, why? It was one of the first times that I felt aware of, like, I guess Nintendo of Japan is just a different animal, like they're not connected to these shows. Because I thought the shows were connected into it all, but they really weren't.
Even if you think the gun isn't loaded or the knife isn't sharp, leave them alone.
Yeah, well, and that choice to make it a kind of a happy-go-lucky Italian plumber was Charles Martinet's decision. It was his, like, because when he went into the audition, he was like told to do a Brooklyn accent, and he was, and as he did the audition, he was like, "Hey, can I just try something?" Like, I think because he thought that Mario should be more positive and more exuberant, so he brought that to that character.
Yeah, I heard a really cute story to that end about. I don't know if it's true. I assume it is though. About like when they were recording Mario Teaches Typing, if you lost a level, the scripted line was something like, "You failed, try again." And he was like, I feel like Mario, like everything he says should be positive and motivational. And so he was like, can I change it to, you tried hard, but I bet you can do even better if you try again? Or like, can I say, just put a spin on it? And
kids get no all the time. I didn't want to ever say no, and Mario never says no, and never is mean or cruel or vicious or, hurtful. It's always loving and caring and compassionate.
Uh-oh, that wasn't as fast as last time. Let's try again, okay?
I believe you should be your own best friend. The most cruel voice we all hear is the one from ourselves. But if we treat ourselves like our own best friend, we start developing a sense of self-identity that is caring and loving.
Yeah, like it's impossible to imagine, because of what he did with that character. It's impossible to imagine Mario being like, "You failed."
You failed, you fucking bitch.
Look at this fucking fairy. Couldn't even make it through the goddamn home keys.
He can't type worth shit.
Do me a favor. Put your little index fingers on the J and the K or whatever the hell it is on the keyboard and try again. Yahoo! Okie dokie. Yeah, it's interesting that Chris Pratt established this kind of like it's almost just a generic American accent. He just adds a little bit of a higher pitch and just a little bit of like, "Hey, you better tell me what my brother is." Just a little bit, just a tiny
bit. It's enough. It's enough.
Our whole lives, everyone's telling us we can't do this, we can't do that. Just sick and tired of feeling so small.
So what are we talking? 25 years or?
Yeah, I mean, definitely 30 years, basically. Yeah, 30 years.
That's crazy.
So, it's a he definitely established that character for, I mean, how many like Newgrounds cartoons have you had people imitating his voice,
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, he left a legacy, that, I mean, Yeah, I mean, when I read the news, it felt a little. I was just glad he wasn't dead.
Right. that red screen with that white text. I'm like, what are you trying to say there?
It's like Charles Martinet. It's like, oh no,
An important message from Super Mario. Oh no.
Oh no.
I remember the first time I heard Luigi's Martinet voice. It was Mario Kart 64. That was the first time-
Luigi, number one.
Yeah, that was probably the first time I heard it. Oh yeah, let's go.
I'm a Luigi, number one.
Wario too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nintendo.
We used to always impersonate Wario in high school, and we quickly learned that like the Penguin from Batman Returns, Tim Allen from Home Improvement, and Wario are just all the same, you know? Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh, and for some reason we used to always go cheese.
Kind of fits with Wario.
You can, in my movie I Need to Lose 10 Pounds, our first feature, there's a lyric in one of the songs that says a flashlight that's powered by cheese, and the guy who did the voiceover for it decided to do it as Wario. He goes, a flashlight that's powered by cheese.
A flashlight that's powered by cheese.
So that's you can thank Charles Martinet for that.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.